I'm a fervent believer in free markets. Lady Thatcher, may she live forever, acknowledges me in her book on statecraft. I represent a government which has won plaudits for its financial rectitude. Our finance minister, Jacek Rostowski, is a former member of the British Conservative Party. In other words, I think I tick every box required to be a lifelong member of London's very powerful club of Eurosceptics. But Euroscepticism is not my club. On the contrary, I believe in the logic and justice of the modern European project, and my country, Poland, will do its utmost to help it succeed. We all have a good laugh when we hear about the banana directive or the Euro sausage. But these are usually not the fault of the European Commission. Usually these kinds of ideas are proposed by particular member states who are trying to protect their former colonies or their national products. And the directives are always negotiated with other states. Directives, in short, are not Brussels diktats, but regulations that a British government's officials had agreed to, approved of, and signed off on. In any case, law inspired by Europe accounts for only a fragment of what your parliament passes. Yes, the UK outside the EU would have more freedom of maneuver, by definition, and in a number of significant respects. But the UK would be less powerful, and it would be less free in the sense of maneuver. Certainly, Britain would lose its influence in many international fora. By negotiating as one bloc in world trade talks, the European Union gives all of us, the UK included, a powerful and united voice to use when speaking to China or the United States. If you leave, you lose that. Now, Britain's leaders need to decide once again how best to use their influence in Europe. The EU is an English-speaking power. The single market was a British idea. A British commissioner runs our diplomatic service. You could, if only you wished, lead Europe's defense policy. But if you refuse, please don't expect us to help you wreck or paralyze the EU. Do not underestimate our determination not to return to the politics of the 20th century. You are not occupied. You don't know what it's like. Most of us on the continent were, and we will do almost anything to prevent it from happening again. Your public opinion and politics is more Eurosceptic than ever. And I think I can guess why. Marxists at those Balliol tutorials taught me the term false consciousness, which is when the ideological superstructure is out of sync with the economic base. And I think Britain today is living with false consciousness because your interests lie with Europe, and it is high time for your sentiments to follow. Your leaders need to make a more vocal case for your European interests. Britain is famous through the ages for its practical good sense and policies based on reality, not on myths. And we hope you soon return to that tradition. Thank you.